Let's go to BNC's Dray Clark. Gonna keep you down live in Tulsa. Not today. Dray Clark joins us from a church where a special ceremony will be held later today. Dray, good morning to you. Thanks for getting up with us on Start Your Day. I want to start here. There are new developments in what is now a 100-year-old case. First, take us through those.
Yeah, tomorrow, as a matter of fact, and I think that's really one of the most remarkable parts about this story is that 100 years later, this is still an ongoing investigation. They are still finding bodies in different parts of the city. And last October, a team found 12 caskets inside Oak Lawn Cemetery, which is just across town. And tomorrow they will begin removing those caskets and begin the process of trying to identify if the individuals inside the caskets are actually victims of the 1921 massacre. I've said this in one of my stories, is that Tulsa is perhaps the largest crime scene in America, because the official death toll was 37, 25 black, 12 white. But everyone else who was here says there's just no way 37 people died. It's way more than that. And so that's really remarkable that we're still talking about finding bodies, identifying bodies as we celebrate and commemorate, rather, this 100-year anniversary. And just one other thing, Sharon and Mike. 100 years ago today, this section of Greenwood, there were black businesses, black homes all up and down the street, black folks dressed in nice clothing, driving nice cars. This same time 100 years ago, little did they know, all hell was about to break loose, because on the other side of town, hundreds and hundreds of white men were gathering weapons, knives, guns, whatever they could find. And their sole focus was to come across the tracks of Greenwood, kill everybody they came across, and burn every building down. And they did that with the exception of this building behind me, which is Vernon AME Church. It was the only structure left standing after that 16-hour terrorist attack.
That's how God works sometimes. Like you said, they came to destroy something that they didn't have because they were jealous of what others had, black people had. But we're resilient, right, Dray? We bounced back, and that's what the people in Greenwood did. They bounced back. What have you learned about how the area was rebuilt?
It's really remarkable. First thing, the insurance company refused to pay them for their losses because they said what happened here in 1921 was a riot, and their policy didn't cover riots. So they never got a dime from the insurance companies. But what happened was black people from all across the country sent money here to Greenwood, and within a year, they started rebuilding Greenwood. Within 5 years, it was back, and it was better than the original Black Wall Street. That part of the story is often not told. What really destroyed Black Wall Street in the end was three things. First thing was integration. Remember, 1921, you could only shop in the black community. Once integration happened, you could go across town. The second thing was so-called urban renewal. There's a highway that you probably can't see. It runs right through the middle of Greenwood. That destroyed the businesses. And then you have gentrification. New buildings, new faces coming up, and that's a big concern for people now living here, is that the history of Black Wall Street will be whitewashed because of gentrification.
Yeah, that's happening a lot in a lot of different cities around. You talk about, real quick, you talk about that highway though, Sharon. You think about the infrastructure bill, right? And the racist freeways that have been built across black communities throughout this nation that they're actually trying to reestablish now. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Go ahead, Sharon.
No, and I was just going to say, you know, as we mark this, and many people are learning about it for the first time, and you did a beautiful job. We had your piece on earlier this morning. Just an incredible job at educating us about what went down here. It's not a celebration, though, Dray. There's much left to be done. Reparations, the demand for it, attacking it, lawsuits, all of it. Is there pessimism, hope, a combination of the people that you've talked to since you hit the ground? What are you hearing from them?
Well, they're angry. They're angry. You know, we all heard Miss Viola Fletcher, 107 years old, one of three direct descendants still living here in Greenwood. But the black community here, they're angry. They want to be made whole. Remember, it was an Oklahoma State Commission that determined in 2001 that reparations should have been paid to the victims and descendants of the 1921 massacre. 20 years later, we're still talking about those reparations. They want to be made whole. What happened here, no doubt, was a massacre. It was murder. No one has ever been charged, convicted, or put in prison. And so once again, we're still in this tug of war between the state and the folks of Greenwood and the federal government and the people of Greenwood. And they just want what they deserve, and they deserve to be repaid for what happened. This was a community unlike any other, with the exception, by the way, because I heard Mike talking about there were other Black Wall Streets. You know, Raleigh-Durham, North Carolina, that was the other Black Wall Street. A lot of black wealthy people there because of the insurance industry. But what happened here in Greenwood didn't happen in Raleigh-Durham. What happened here was land lust. The white community wanted the land, and they were looking for any excuse to take it. And the moment that young lady, Sarah Page, accused Dick Rowland of attacking her, which, by the way, she later recanted her story, refused to press charges, but that was the excuse they used to go ahead and take what they wanted. And even after Greenwood, the black property owners fought for their property to keep it, and they actually won. 3 white judges ruled in their favor that you can actually keep your property, because the city was trying to use a fire code ordinance to take the land from black homeowners and black property owners. It's a really remarkable story, but it just goes to show you how resilient and how strong black people really are. We have been through so much in this country, and you just can't break our backs. You can't do it. We're built from a different cloth. It's in our DNA. You cannot break our spirit. You can't break our backs. We will fight until the death. And as a matter of fact, also, black people fought very hard when this thing happened. But they were outnumbered, they were outmanned, they were outgunned. But they did fight to try and save everything.
Right. You will knock us down, but you will not keep us down. Yep.
That's right.
No, that's what I was talking about. Even voter suppression, you can try and knock us down, change the rules, but we'll continue to come back. We are going to get what we deserve in this country. Dray Clark,
real quick,
I echo what Sharon said.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Sorry. I just want to say, be safe, Dray. Okay, my Aunt Janice texted me. You know, our people know each other from the Philly area. Our families do, and she said, make sure Dray Clark stays safe. Okay, all grown up.
Yes.
We appreciate you very much.
Stay safe and continue to do a great job, brother.
I appreciate that. Thank you, guys. Thanks for being. Thank you for having me this morning on your show. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
No, it's our pleasure. It's our honor. Absolutely. Thank you, Dray. We'll talk to you throughout the morning here on BNC.